This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Bruce.
Jody.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good.
After today, I really think we should talk about what like work-life balance.
Okay.
I think it's something that a lot of companies talk about all the time.
Sure.
A lot of like big corporate companies and stuff, and like self-help books talk about work-life balance. And after today's work,
You've had a long day?
I had a day today.
Okay. Right.
And I think it's good to maybe just talk about work-life balance, as we both have at home kind of work from home businesses.
Sure.
And then me also working a full-time job on the side of that. Like,
Sure.
what does that mean? Because I'm a lot of people are doing at-home businesses, but are working from home or remotely or whatever.
Yes.
So many different ways to work now. So
Right.
how are you keeping that balance? Are you keeping that balance? What are you doing? All that kind of stuff, I think.
Right.
I'd love to talk about.
I think that sounds great. I have always been really focused on, well, when I had a career, I was focused on my career.
Yeah.
Now, whatever I have now with Chubster takes up a lot of my time. I think that I shouldn't say takes up a lot of my time. That sounds like, it takes up a lot of my time. No, it is something that I love to do, that I'm very passionate about. And I have a tendency to just dive into those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to have a good balance just because of myself.
Yeah.
The way that I like to work.
You're really passionate about what you're doing. So you want to do it right. And no matter how long it takes.
Right.
At the expense of whatever else sometimes. And I totally understand that.
Yeah. And I've always kind of been that way with different jobs. Whenever I get into something, I really want to do it and I want to be passionate about it and do it well. So that gets harder as you get older for a lot of different reasons, I think.
You have more responsibilities and
absolutely
you have a family and you have more family now that just arrived not too long ago.
Right.
Such a cutie.
Yeah.
But that and then when we started Bearskin, I was still working a job and then quit the job to work Bearskin full time. And then it was like, I'm always working because it's an online company. So we're constantly connected with our phones. So whether it's someone's order or someone commenting or posting on social media somewhere, or emailing about something, it just like bing, bing. And it's like right there. And I'm like, I have to respond right now.
Always
no matter where I am or what I'm doing. And it was exhausting.
Always being connected is a real pain because it's a blessing and a curse because you're always connected so you can get back to people quickly. You can see what's going on, but you're also
a curse.
3 a.m. You're looking at a customer issue and you're trying to respond
to that. Figure out what's going on. And I finally just like on my days off that I have, I'm like, I can respond tomorrow.
Right.
Like I just had to like get it in my head. Like, yes, I could just take a couple minutes and do this, but I can also wait until tomorrow, normal hours or whatever, not responding at 3 a.m. when that person emails me.
Sure.
But it's really hard. I struggle with it even now, or like I'll check the message and then go back to what I'm doing. And then sometimes it gets a little lost.
I think when you're self-employed or you have your own business or work from home, I think that it can be really difficult to set boundaries because you can work anytime and you can get up right out of bed, be in your boxers, sit on the couch, open your computer and work in a lot of cases. So it's really easy for you to just be like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this episode of whatever. And then I'm going to go back to work.
I get distracted when I was working from home. You get so distracted by cleaning or whatever, or I'm gonna have lunch and I'm gonna watch an episode, and then 4 episodes later you're like, whoops.
There's a lot of value in having a place to go, which is something that I found after a few years of doing this and working from home, is that having a place that you can go and you can actually work is you're able to be so much more focused.
We would go to coffee shops and get so much done. And we're like, maybe this office thing is a good idea.
Right.
I mean, it took us a while to get there, but
Sure.
My partner Bjorn, he does bearskin stuff full time, but we have an office space
Right.
that he can go to every
helps.
day, which is really good because you go to work, you work your hours, you're
Right.
very productive, you get it done, and then you come home and you can be home, even though we still
It's hard.
do stuff at home.
It's
but-
hard. It's hard to disconnect totally, and I think in this day and age, especially, we're just used to having our phones there all the time.
Yeah.
I did a thing that I can't talk a whole lot about last night, and I did it for about 12 hours.
Yes.
And
That sounds weird.
yeah, it does. It does.
We could say something about you were,
I was working.
yeah.
I was working.
Yes.
For 12 hours on a.
Oh, yeah. And you can't have your phone.
Right. You can't have your phone. I didn't have my phone, and
Oh, that would have been, don't add that on top of, no.
yeah, I know. At
Like,
first,
I'd be freaking out like every couple of minutes. I just instinctively like pat my legs. I'm like,
Totally.
where's my phone?
Yeah.
Where are my keys?
yeah, I didn't have to patting and looking around for it was not so much.
That's
of
right.
a,
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what he did on another episode.
Yes.
It's going to be incognito right now.
Right. At first, I was a little annoyed, and then after a while, it was just nice.
It was kind of nice to just
Yeah.
be disconnected.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where there are some people who do the work from home thing, and they are regimented and they have it down, and it's not a problem. And and I am not one of those people.
Well, I think it might also be different if you're working for someone else
Sure.
at home. If you're like, what do they call it? Telecommuting? or whatever?
Telecommuting, yeah.
But when you're working for yourself, it's a completely different, because it's like, it's all you.
Right.
So it's like, well, it's my business, it's my money.
Yeah.
I might as well
I can
just
do
be
whatever
doing,
I damn well please.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, I might as well just do it now.
Right. Right.
Like, I want this
Get
to
it
be
done.
successful. I'm going to,
Yeah. My thing is that if I do everything that I need to do now, I'm just working forever. And
Yeah.
that's what it ends up being is I go back and I look at lists that I have of things that need to
yeah.
get done. And I have lists that are as of right now, probably 2 or 3 years old that I've been adding to forever. And I will never get through those lists.
Yeah.
So
It's the thing about being proactive, not reactive, is something that I've been really working on, trying to plan ahead
Right.
and get ahead, even though it never seems to.
It's hard.
Never seems to get ahead, but
And I think you really eventually need to realize, and this has been hard for me, is to understand that you don't have to do everything. You just have to be smarter about how you work.
Work
And make
smarter, not harder.
Right, exactly. Make the most of your time.
Yes.
And speaking of making the most of our time, let's have our drink. So we are not we're not doing a beer for this episode. We are doing something out of my liquor cabinet. Brandy on the rocks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
After today, I was very excited about this.
Yep.
It's just brandy. We don't know,
Right. With a rock in it.
with a rock. Oh,
Should we
cheers!
cheers
Clank,
with our
clank.
plastic?
With our B cups. We're still drinking out of our B cups
Because we're classy like that.
our plastic beer
Yep.
glasses. But
I know. We really need to talk to those guys. I feel like they revolutionized beer drinking for both of us.
They need to get little brandy snifters.
Snifters. Oh,
That
sweet
is-
mother of mercy. That is. I don't have the first idea how you describe.
It's a little
Liquor.
smoky. It's kind of. I feel like there's some vanilla notes in there, though.
I get some vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Just a lot of liquor smell off of that.
I know. It's it's
It's
Brandy.
doing the job. We don't have a lot of descriptors for it, but
no. It
we all know what brandy is, and it's good. Just a little
tastes like
take the edge off.
cold brandy. So,
I appreciate it. It will help the rest of the evening.
I'm wondering if we can get like some laminated cards that give us descriptors for like beer tasting and wine tasting and brandy tasting.
What do you mean laminated cards?
Well, something we can keep on the table.
Oh,
with
with
different
all the-
words and
oh,
different
yeah.
terminology. So then we can look at it and go, that did have a smoky, peaty flavor.
Yeah, like descriptors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why the Untapped thing is really good for the beer, because it gives you
All of those.
all of the little, like, these are what people say. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a brandy liquor with,
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's one out there for that too. But
Just a side tangent here. Have you had any good beers lately? Has there been any beer that you've been?
I did. Sorry. I'm looking it up on here on the Untapped.
Yes.
I went somewhere over the rainbow. I don't know where it was.
Brandy.
That's not the most recent. Go back. Sorry.
You found something that you very much enjoyed.
It was good.
Yeah.
Grimlock Rye Porter.
Ooh.
At Lewitt Brewing Company.
Oh, Lewitt.
Yeah. And the Truman's, I guess, goddamn strong ale.
There we go. I like it.
Ale.
Yeah.
Also from Lewitt. That was an 8.2 ABV. So that was a good one. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was excellent. It's a Vancouver, Washington brewery. So I went across the river, everyone.
Whoa. All right.
Yes. It said an American Strong Ale honoring the anniversary of the May 18th, 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption.
Ooh.
And Spirit Lake Lodge owner Harry Truman.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Truman die up there or something?
I don't know.
I feel like I don't think I'm making that up. I think Truman perished in.
But this other one, the Grimlock Rye Porter, was pretty good. And it was a 2016 World Beer Cup silver medal winner.
Fancy.
Ooh, I know they had all kinds of medals on their wall, so we'll have to go back there and try out some more of those.
Speaking of medal winning beer, I have been on a Budweiser kick. I know.
Oh, wait, no, that one we had was really good.
That one was. So
I remember
I'm bringing it down a bit because
the Discovery Reserve.
Yes.
Budweiser Discovery Reserve.
That was good.
Yeah.
But what I had earlier this week was a Bud Light Orange. Mm-mm. I know. Believe me.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. We're not even in the Weiser is gone. It's just the Bud. And I don't know. I think the funny thing is, so I've talked about this before, that I'm from St. Louis, grew up with all of that, moved here to the West Coast, specifically Portland, where there are tons and tons of microbrews and good beers. And I love that. And I love that we have that. But now having such easy access to that has made me really appreciate those kind of beers a lot more in really different ways. So
how was the Bud Light Orange?
It was very citrusy, but not. It was like a good balance. It was a very easy drinking beer that is perfect for summer.
I've seen the Bud Light Lime, but not the orange. Is orange new? Or?
Yeah, orange is new. Okay. My sister-in-law brought it over. She bought some and brought it over, and we shared it. And yeah, it was actually really good.
Nice.
And I've been craving beer, like shitty beer, ever since.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very nice. I also went to Fire on the Mountain the other day, and one of my favorites from them is their Cherry Bruin.
Nice.
Belgian brown. So it's like it's like a chocolate covered cherry kind of flavor to it.
So for people who don't live here, Fire on the Mountain is a pizza place that is also a brewery.
It's a wing place. Wings
is a wing place that's really, also a brewery.
Really hot wings. They do their own sauce.
Yeah,
it's most of them are too much for me.
Yeah, wings.
But Bjorn is a wing fan and he loves hot wings. So I normally get the spicy peanut one.
There is a hot sauce festival going on this weekend.
No.
You know what? I need to read you this description. I know we're getting way off work-life balance here, but
this is work-life balance is going and enjoying life.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Going to your favorite wing place.
Right.
Getting a beer or whatever you want to drink, and
eating, drinking, enjoying
spending time with your friends and family. That's what we are wanting to focus on, is doing that and having that. When you're not working, going and doing stuff that's fun with your friends. Like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but yes, let's go get some wings, have a beer.
Yeah.
And chat, whatever.
It is so easy, especially for me personally. It's very easy to be like, I'm tired, I don't want to do that. Or I could just stay home instead of going out to do those things, And
you don't have to go out every time, but you got to just be
open.
Be open to going and doing things with your friends and family and significant others.
Let me read this to you because it's glorious.
Okay.
It's the Portland Hot Sauce Expo.
Oh boy.
compete in a spicy food challenge on the stage of death.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Which includes the Donuts of Death,
What?
Sausage of Destruction, and the Guinness Book of World Records Reaper Eating Challenge with a $1,000 grand prize.
So what is the donut one?
Or-
is it hot donut?
Just sample hot sauce.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is, Donuts of Death. I guess they're donuts with death in them. I don't.
With death. Donuts of death.
Yeah. So burning, horrifying donuts.
Well, I like some like chili pepper a little bit.
There's a part of me that wants to go and wants
There's
to
no
try
part
that.
of me that wants to do that.
But I, at this age, cannot handle the heat the way that I could when I was younger, where I'd do it, even if it was painful, because my body could handle that. My body cannot handle that the same way. I might win the battle, but I will lose the war.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's very, very important to think through those things. And I can't spend an entire second day just recovering.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Using your bidet quite a bit.
Yes, living on the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still kind of want to go.
But yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go. TMI, folks.
Well,
But yeah.
but yes.
So work-life balance, have you ever worked for an employer that did not believe in the work-life balance, that was really like, you need to be dedicated to the cause, above all else?
Yeah. I mean, I think most of the companies that I've worked for, I'll preach that they believe in work-life balance and it's very important and blah, blah, blah. And here's the things. But then at the end of the day, it's like,
They're trying to make money.
we need people and,
Right.
we need to get it done. And, and I'm a workaholic and I'm very dedicated to my job,
Right.
but also I'm like, at some points I'm like, I just have to say no to whatever. And
Right. You shouldn't be afraid to say no and to really focus on that balance. Now, I know that's not always easy, because I've certainly had jobs where that was the thing. They wanted your dedication.
Yeah. And I think in American society, it's hard. We don't take vacations.
Right.
We're like working us to the bone, whatever. But it's important to take that time for your mental health and, go do whatever. Or just on my day off the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff. And I ended up watching Terminator movies because I saw an ad for a new Terminator movie that's coming out. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to watch all the Terminator movies that are on Netflix.
Generally,
and that was great.
Right. And generally, when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to remember the 16-hour days that you worked, at your job. You're going to remember the experiences and the fun things that you did and the people that you were with and all of those kind of things. So trying to find that balance is important. And I know it's not as easy as I'm about to say, but if you are in a position where you're working for an employer that doesn't recognize that and doesn't want that for their employees, you should probably consider
a different job.
Yeah.
Because my current job, my boss was like, hey, make sure you go and check out how many PTO hours and sick time you have so we can do some vacation planning before the end of the year.
Right.
Because some companies, they roll over, some companies, they don't, whatever. So it is good that I work for DXL and they're very much about, making sure that you take your time and,
right.
Holiday, then the fourth quarter is going to be rough. So you can't have time off during Christmas. So
right.
Get it in now and get rested up and get ready for it. Cause
definitely
the work is coming. So I appreciate that they
it's great.
Are like, hey, make sure that we're planning for vacations and, so it's good.
Good. I think we've covered a lot here. I would like to hear if you're listening to this and you are either struggling with it or maybe you've cracked the code in a way that we haven't talked about. I'd love to hear how you find your work-life balance and what tips and tricks work for you, stories good and bad. How have you dealt with it in the past and where do you stand with it now? We're not advocating for like, don't do hard work. Don't spend your time and focus on your job, because sure, you absolutely should. If you find something that you like to do, then you should do it. But it's about balance.
Yeah. That's all it's about, is balancing, and whatever that means to you. Like maybe that means only a little bit of time off. Maybe it's a lot. Like whatever you need to do. So
let us know.
Let us know what you're doing. Let us know what's working or what's not working for you.
Yeah.
And share this episode with a friend that is maybe a workaholic.
Please.
That needs a little bit more work-life balance. And let us know what you're thinking.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks. That was good.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.